You have 5 days left to use your full cash ISA allowance. And when the new tax year begins on Monday, April the 6th, the clock is also going to start on your last full year to ever put the full £20,000 into a cash ISA if you're under the age of 65. Now, most people haven't heard about this. So, in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's happening, what it means for your money, and what you need to do before Sunday. ISIS were introduced back in 1999 by Gordon Brown, and they were introduced to give ordinary people a way to save and invest without paying tax on the returns that they were getting. Now, back then, the allowance was just £7,000. It wasn't until 2014 that we saw the first big jump in the allowance, moving it from 7,000 to £15,000. And then again in 2017, when it hit £20,000 for the first time. And that's where it's stayed ever since, really. Now, to get your head round how ISAs work, think of it as a tax free container, okay? You get to decide how much goes into this tax free container up to the £20,000 limit. This will be based on your circumstances. And you get to choose how you hold that money, be that in cash or whether you invest it in stocks and shares. But the container itself is what the government gives you. And they only give you one per tax year. Now, your allowance doesn't carry forward. So if there's a part of your £20,000 that you didn't use, it doesn't get moved over to the next year. The year ends on April the 5th. That's it. It's gone. If you're under the age of 65, there is a big change coming that makes the new tax year starting on April the 6th possibly the most important one yet. And I'm not saying that for dramatic effect. In the autumn statement last year, you probably remember Rachel Reeves said and confirmed that from April the 6th, 2027, the amount you can put into your cash ISA is being cut from £20,000 to £12,000. That means that tax year 26-27 that starts on Monday is the last full year where you can put the full £20,000 into a cash ISA if you're under the age of 65, unless you invest in a stocks and shares ISA. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why would the government do such a thing? Well, the answer lies in the numbers. So, as of the end of 2024, there was £359 billion sitting in cash ISAs. That's money that the government cannot tax. And the official line from the government is they want you to invest more. So from April 27, the only way you'll be able to use the full £20,000 allowance if you're under the age of 65 is by putting money into a stocks and shares ISA. But here's the reality on the other side of that decision. 3 years ago, HMRC collected £1.4 billion in tax on savings interest. This year, that figure is projected to hit £10.4 billion. That's a tenfold increase. And that's not because people suddenly got wealthier, it's because interest rates went up, savings grew, and the thresholds that were supposedly there to protect ordinary savers didn't move when interest rates moved. So it means that millions of people are now paying tax on their savings interest without realizing it, not because they did anything wrong, just because they left money in their accounts that unfortunately are interest bearing. Now, inside a cash ISA, that never happens. Whatever your savings grows to, whatever the interest rate does, whatever the government decides to do with thresholds next in the future, 10, 15 years from now, all of that interest is yours. So the moral of the story here is the longer your money sits outside an ISA, the more of it belongs to HMRC instead of you. So right now, while you have the ability in the next tax year starting on Monday to put the full £20,000 into a cash ISA, well, it's a no-brainer to really strategize how you're actually going to do that. Let me put a number to what staying in a standard account actually costs you, because this is where it stops being abstract. And when I say standard account, I mean an account where you're going to pay interest. Now, unfortunately, most people still think that ISAs are for wealthy people who have investment portfolios, and that isn't the truth. The average person with an active ISA has around about £38,000 saved. So, for the purpose of the next illustration we're going to do, we're going to be using that. Now, 38k at 4% interest in a normal account will get about £1,520 in interest a year, and that 1,520 is going to be taxable. Now, you have a personal allowance, and that personal allowance is a buffer that's supposed to protect you. If you're a basic rate taxpayer, it's £1,000. If you're a high rate taxpayer, it's £500. If you're an additional rate taxpayer, well, you get nothing. And there is no sign of any of those allowances becoming more generous in the future. So here's what it actually costs you over time. If you're a basic rate taxpayer, 38K at 4% in a standard account grows to approximately 54,400 over 10 years. The same money in a cash ISA grows to 56,250. That's nearly £1,900 lost to tax. Over 20 years, though, that gap becomes 6,400. Now, if you're a high rate taxpayer, significantly worse, okay? The £38,000 at 4% in a standard account will get you to around about £50,400 over 10 years against in an ISA 56,250. So that's nearly £5,900 lost. Over 20 years, that becomes over £17,000 on a savings pot that I would argue most people would consider to be ordinary. And here's the thing, you haven't lost that money because you've made a bad investment. You've not lost it because the market crashed. It's lost because you've not used the most appropriate account available to you. And look, I get it. I know how difficult it is sometimes to be able to make the right decision because you're busy with work and you might not have the know how or you might not know how to apply things. And if I've just described you, I want to invite you to join the waitlist to our Calm Money community where we help people make better decisions like this, help people see the wood through the tree so they can make the best financial decision for their circumstances. Now, let's take the numbers one step further and assume that the same £38,000 is inside a stocks and shares ISA at 6% annual growth. It means that that £38,000 is going to grow to just over £68,000 after 10 years. After 20, it becomes approximately £122,000. That's nearly £38,600 more than the cash ISA and over £55,000 more than the higher rate taxpayer who left their money in a standard account. Now, granted, stocks and shares ISAs, they carry investment risk. Your money goes up, it can also go down, and it's not going to be right for everyone based on their circumstances. But it does go to show that every pound that leaves you is a pound that stops compounding. And the gap doesn't just stay the same, it grows every single year you don't act. I speak to a lot of people who will tell me they meant to sort their ISAs out every single year. And every year, April comes around, the window closes, they do nothing. It's not because they're bad with money, it's usually because they're too busy. It's usually because they don't quite know how. And life just takes over. And I think the important thing here is just to recognize that this isn't about being wealthy, particularly not in the circumstances where we find ourselves today, with the cost of living crisis still raging. It's about being precise with the tools that already exist for you. The first one is just check what you've already put into your ISAs this current tax year. If you log into your provider, this stuff is very, very easy to find out. Typically, you can just click on a button, it will tell you you've contributed this much this year. Note down that number, write it down, really, really important. Now, the second thing is whatever that number is, subtract it from 20. That will tell you what allowance you've not already used. Again, this is very, very simple stuff. The third, once you know what the difference is, I would suggest that you try and fill as much of what is left as possible. Now, let's just say you've put in £10,000. You may be in a position where you can put in the £10,000 to max it out. You may not be in a position where you can put in £10,000. But if you could put in 1,000 or 2,000, whatever you can, it's best to do that and put as much as you possibly can. Because again, if you don't use the full £20,000 allowance, you're going to lose it. So whatever you can, throw it in there. Remember also that if you are a couple, it's husband and wife that can do this. So if you're in a position where you actually have quite a bit of cash lying around, you can potentially double up your allowances and max out as much as possible, getting it into a tax-free environment. The next thing you need to do is, if you're going to do this, you need to remember that a lot of the providers, they have to process the payment. So you don't want to leave it till the very, very last day. The money has to hit them. So you need to give yourself really processing days. I would probably say 5 days is probably ample, but maybe 3, you could be pushing it. So make the decision today. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Just try and get it done right there and then once you've established exactly how much you have left in your ISA allowance. And the new tax year rolls around on Monday. Try and plot wherever you can how you're going to maximize the amount that you can put in, because like I said, we'll talk about stocks and shares ISAs separately in a completely different video, but you're going to lose the ability, if you're under the age of 65, to be able to put £20,000 into cash ISA, which will impact you if you're trying to save for a deposit for a home, for example, and you're under the age of 65. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you did enjoy this, don't forget to smash the like button. If you are new finding me, I'd love for you to subscribe, so please consider that. And if you have found this video useful but you feel like you need help, support, guidance, then again, the invite to join our waitlist for the community is linked down below. I hope to see you inside. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.